Yes, we could use more respect, right, women? All right, I am so excited to be here. Rosa, thank you for firing up the crowd and all the work you're doing to deliver the votes in the Hudson Valley. Let's give it up for Rosa Florian. Well done, well done. And you've heard from some extraordinary public servants who I'm so proud to serve with. I know you heard from our United States Majority Leader, Chuck Schumer, the powerhouse who delivers for us every single day, and our great senator, who I've worked with for so many years, a dear friend of mine, Kirsten Gillibrand, was out here tonight. And did Jamal Bowman fire you up tonight, our congressman? Oh, yes, he does. How about our ticket, Attorney General Tish James? Comptroller Tom DiNapoli's on the ballot. Let's get him elected as well. Lieutenant Governor Antonio Delgado, I need to have as my partner. We can bring them all home. And I was just wondering, is labor here? Anybody from labor here? Okay, I feel it. I'm just a warm-up act for the president. Okay, so I'm real excited he's here. You know, a lot of people are saying, why is President Biden coming to New York so much? Well, let me make it real simple for you people. He comes here to announce, because of our efforts working with Chuck Schumer, President Biden, and myself, he comes here to announce, 50,000 new jobs because Micron's coming here and didn't go to Texas. Now, he can come any day and announce that. The largest private sector investment in our state's history. We got that done. But also, he was here not long ago. Might he come? How about $20 billion investment from IBM? Yeah, he can come anytime for that. And why is he here tonight? Well, thank you. He's here tonight because he knows there's no place better in the entire United States of America than New York. Who doesn't want to come to New York? Of course he's here in New York. Of course he's here. This is the greatest place to be, so don't question why someone comes to New York. Everybody wants to come to New York. So I think about what's been happening in Washington as well. Chuck Schumer, Kirsten Gillibrand, and our president. What's been described as the most transformational pieces of legislation to lift people up since the New Deal. Now, that's pretty bold, but that's a statement of fact. They got that done. That's what Democrats have delivered. Now, the New Deal reminds us of FDR. Well, does anybody know he lives just up the road a little bit? He lived up there. This is his home turf. So we think about FDR, we think about the New Deal, and we think about the fact that FDR became president, but he was governor first. He was governor of the state of New York during the crash of 1929, and he had to figure out a way forward. The country was suffering, but he had to worry about New York first, right? And he brought together some of the brightest minds, Francis Perkins. Everybody from labor know the name Francis Perkins. And they came up with plans that set our country, as he became president a couple years later, on a different path. So I'm proud to have in my DNA as a Democrat all the accomplishments that started back in this state with our then governor, who became a president, FDR, and the New Deal. So let's think about what we got. Support for workers. How about that? We support our workers. We make sure that nobody falls between the cracks. We make sure they have Social Security and Medicare and other programs as well, similar programs. So I'm proud to be an FDR-style Democrat, because that means things are getting done. But I'm also taking note. People are saying, you know, the problem with Democrats, they're doing all this good stuff, right? We have a lot of accomplishments, but they just don't message the right way. You know, the Republicans are better at the messaging. Well, I'm going to make it real simple for everybody, okay? I can come up with a real simple message. Do you want to have good-paying jobs? Then vote Democrat. You want to protect our environment for generations to come? Then just vote Democrat. Do you want to make sure that we invest in education, have the highest quality education, support our teachers of anywhere in this country? Yeah? Then just vote Democrat. You want to make sure that we get guns off the streets and start saving lives? Then you vote Democrat. And do you want to protect a woman's right to determine what she wants to do with her own body? Protect her right to her... then vote Democrat. And do you want to protect the sanctity of the ballot box and fight against voter suppression and protect the essence of our democracy? Then you do what? Okay, is that simple enough message for everybody? Okay, I think we figured it out here. We figured it out. Well, I am so proud to be the governor of the state of New York. We have had some interesting times. I took office unexpectedly. We had to deal with hurricanes, and the pandemic got worse, and we had a mass shooting in my hometown of Buffalo. We had to deal with the Supreme Court overturning my right as the governor of New York to protect citizens under a law that was there for 100 years to say you shouldn't be able to carry a gun in your classroom here at Sarah Lawrence or on a subway or in our churches or our synagogues. I had to deal with that. I had to deal with the fact that they tried to take away rights to an abortion by overturning Roe v. Wade. And you know what my opponent says? Well, guess what he says? He goes, oh, no, nothing changed in New York. No, I voted against women's rights. I've always been against abortion. I'm against all that. But nothing really changed here in New York after the Dobbs decision. You know why nothing changed here? Because I'm the governor. That's why nothing changed. It's not that complicated, my friends. So we know, you've heard from great speakers. You know it's at stake. You know we all need your votes. And all I know is one thing. When Democrats turn out to vote in the state of New York, we win. It's that simple. That's all we need to do. You turn out to vote, we win this. And I am so proud to be joined by the President of the United States, who is a person of great compassion and empathy, but also the strength and the intellect to guide our country through some tough times. He's been an amazing partner of all of us. The money that he has supported coming back to our states to help us get through the pandemic, lift up our communities, invest in healthcare and education and infrastructure, it's all happening because Democrats are in charge in Washington. And we have to continue to make sure that the Democrats are also in charge in the state of New York. And what I'm gonna say finally, before I bring out our president, there's a lot, he's coming, don't worry, one more minute. I know, I'm just opening act, that's right. There's a lot of mega Republicans out there, and a lot of talking points about, oh, we're gonna really make headrows, we're gonna crush that strong blue fortitude in a place like New York. If we can get a stranglehold here in New York, we can truly exercise our will and make sure that we have this continuation of talking about lies and scaring people and talking about dividing us and all those things that we reject as Democrats. They think that if they can be successful on Tuesday, that there's no stopping them across the nation. And that is why this election is important beyond our boundaries, my friends. This is about whether or not we're going to stand up and defend everything we have fought for generations. Why New York is New York. All the progressive values that we supported. And that's why we know that the torch that was passed to us from the women of Seneca Falls and the advocates at Stonewall and the labor movement that started here and the environmental justice that started all that weight is on our shoulders as Democrats in New York. And the question is, that torch is passed to us at this very moment. Is that torch going to be extinguished under our watch, or are we going to let it glow even brighter as we pass it on to the next generation? We're going to do the right thing here, and we're going to do it with the leadership of our great president, Joe Biden, our 46th president of the United States of America. He's here to talk to you. Let's bring out our president.